Today we're going to look at how to make a half square triangle. Half square triangles are simply two triangles to make up a square, and we're going to show you an easy way to make two at the same time. This way also helps with the fact that this seam here is on the diagonal, and whilst we could cut it and sew the two triangles together, you can get a bit of distortion because we're sewing on the bias. So this way saves some hassle with that, and you end up with two blocks the same rather quickly. So we're going to need two pieces of fabric the same size. Now I have a 9.5-inch square here, so it's a decent size, so I have my pins handy. And what you do need to do is, you can see I have already marked a line from one corner to another corner diagonally. This is about the only time I use a friction pen on my quilt, because it's going to be in the seam allowance and not in danger of marking or returning to the front of my quilt. So I'm going to align those two squares and then simply secure them a couple of times on each side. And then I will take it to my sewing machine, and I am going to put my 1/4 inch foot on this line, and I'm going to stitch 1/4 inch from this side of the line, turn it round and sew back 1/4 inch on this side. So my block is now sewn. I can remove my pins. I'd actually pinned out far enough that my foot wasn't going to go over any pins, which meant that my block stayed secure while I sewed. So remove those pins. And now we're simply going to take this to our cutting board and cut down that line. So you can see we've now got two half square triangles that are exactly the same. I have pressed my seams to the dark side. So when you first cut them, you'll see in the previous pictures that I set my seam, and then I pressed it open with the seam allowance to the darker side. So we now have two half square triangles ready to go. Have fun making your own.